Hi guys, good morning. So for today's video is I will be presenting to you one of the inventions or technologies that were made through the modern ages. So there are 10 modern ages invention and the one that I chose to just tell you guys is the computer. So what is a computer? So a computer is a digital electronic machine that can be programmed to carry out sequences of arithmetic or logical operation, or what we call computation, automatically. So modern computers can perform generic sets of operation known as programs. These programs enable computer to perform a wide range of tasks. A computer system is a complete computer that includes the hardware, operating system, or what we so-called main software, and peripheral equipment needed and uses for full operation. This term may also refer to a group of computers that are linked and function together, such as a computer network or computer cluster. So who invented the first computer? So the one who invented the first computer is Charles Babbage. So Charles Babbage, 26 December 1791 is when he was born, and he died, October 18, 1871. Was a English polymath, a mathematician, philosopher, inventor, and mechanical engineer. So Babbage originated the concept of digital programmable computer. So Babbage is also considered by some to be the father of computers. Babbage is credited with inventing the first mechanical computer, the difference engine that eventually led to more complex electronic design. Through all the essential ideal of modern computers are to be found in Babbage analytical engine, programmed using a principle openly borrowed from Jacquard Loom. So when was the computer invented? So the computer was invented in 1942. Two professor of the University of Pennsylvania, John Muckley and J. Presper Eckert, designed and built the electronic numerical integrator and calculator, or in shortcut is ENIAC. The machine is the first automatic general purpose electronic decimal digital computer, according to Edwin Lee. So why is computer important? So computer important because these creations rank as one of the most important inventions of the 20th century. So the computer is used in government, law enforcement, banking, business, education, and commerce. It has become essential in fields of scientific, political, and social research as well as aspects in medicine and law. So computer is very important nowadays. Like for example, we use computer when we are on our online class as well, and by communicating other people all around the world. And it's more accessible and easier for us to search anything that we want to know. But of course, there's also a negative side, which we will also think before we click, since it's nationwide. Worldwide, all people can see our posts and everything that we place in the internet using our computer. So that's it for me. This is Ashley One, and thank you so much for listening.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Anita, one of the reporter in topic Modern Ages. The invention of the X-ray. So the X-ray is a accidental discovery in Germany. The discovery of the technology involved with X-ray machine was discovered by the German scientist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen while working in a lab in Würzburg, Germany in 1895. Röntgen was testing cathode rays, part of the technology behind what would later become television. He wanted to see whether the rays could pass through glass when he noticed a glow coming from a nearby chemically coated screen. According to the History Channel's website, he dubbed the rays that causes this glow X-rays because of their unknown nature. Röntgen found that the X-ray could penetrate many types of matter, such as human flesh. He soon took an X-ray photograph of his wife's wedding ring and her bones. The photograph electrified the general public and aroused great scientific interest in the new form of radiation, says About.com. Röntgen named the new form of radiation X-rays, X standing for unknown. X-ray, which are sometimes called Röntgen's rays, in Germany became a major diagnostic tool in medicine because they allowed doctors to see inside the human body without surgery. So this is the X-ray timeline. In 1897, X-rays first used in military battlefield during the Balkan War to find bullets and broken bones inside patients. In 1901, X-ray scientist Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen received the first Nobel Prize in physics. Although he received a lot of recognition, he never tried to patent his discovery. In 1904, a man who worked extensively with X-ray, Clarence Dallas, Thomas Edison's assistant, dies of skin cancer. So that causes scientists to take the radiation risk involved with X-rays more seriously. Although they are not fully understood. In 1930s to 1950s, American shoe store used shoe-fitting protoscope, using X-rays to let customers see the bones in the feet as a gimmick to ensure proper fit. The practice ends in the 1950s when it is determined to be too risky for health reasons due to the radiations, and shoe clerks had no formal medical training in using X-ray technology.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Michelle F.N.T. The invention and history of the printing press. The most of the time to take a print of materials to print it, but image life today. If the printing press has ever been invented, we would not have book, magazine, or newspaper. Posted or flying something and mail fairs would do. Except the printing press allowed to share large amount of information quickly, and it's a hanging number. In fact, the printing press is so significant that it has came to be known as one of the most important inventions of the time. This critically changed the way social, including in this article, we will explore how the printing press was invented, as well as how it affected culture. History and invention of the printing press. Around of the late 1430, a German named Jan Gutenberg was quickly disappeared to find a way to make money. At the time, there was a thread etching small mirrors to one's heart of closest of order. The with healing powers a visit holy place and mirror themselves were not significant, but Gutenberg quickly not how to create. It was to create mass amount of the cheap product. During during 1300s to 1400s, people has developed a very basic from the printing to involve letter of image, cut of the blocks of wood. The block would be in ink and then stepping into the paper. Gutenberg already had previous experience working and Mint after he realized that if he could use cat block with the machine's code make the printing process is a lot faster, even better, he will be able to reprint the text and great number. This is the printing press. Thank you.
Today, I am Danilo Salima, taking Bachelor of Science in Computer Management, and I am here to report about modern ages inventions. And my selected invention is telephone. So let's start. Modern ages invention. Telephone. The telephone was invented in 1876 by Alexander Graham Bell. Scottish-born Bell was a teacher for the deaf at Boston University. In researching ways to teach the deaf, he experimented with transmitting sound via electricity. Teaching by day, he spent many hours of his spare time developing a form of telephone. He applied for a form of patent on March 7, 1876. Within 5 years, private telephone exchanges were in place in most US cities. It was an invention that caught on very quickly. What is a telephone? A telephone is an instrument designed for the simultaneous transmission and reception of the human voice. Telephones are inexpensive and simple to operate, and they offer an immediate personal type of communication. Billions of telephones are in use around the world. The telephone instrument. The word telephone, from the Greek roots tele, far, and phone, sound, was applied as early as the late 17th century to the string telephone familiar to children, and it was later used to refer to the megaphone and the speaking tube. But in modern usage, it refers solely to electrical devices derived from the invention of Alexander Graham Bell and others. Within 20 years of the 1876 Bell patent, the telephone instrument, as modified by Thomas Watson, Emil Berliner, Thomas Edison, and others, acquired a functional design that has not changed fundamentally in more than a century. Working components of the telephone. As it has since early years, the telephone instrument is made up of the following functional components: a power source, a dialer, a ringer, a transmitter, a receiver, and anti-cytone circuit. These components are described in turn below. Power source. In the first experimental telephones, the electric current that powered the telephone circuit was generated at the transmitter by means of an electromagnet activated by the speaker's voice. Dialer. The dialer is used to enter the number of the party that the user wishes to call. Signals generated by the dialer activate switches in the local office, which establish a transmission path to the called party. Dialers are of the rotary and push-down button types. Ringer. The ringer alerts the user to an incoming call by emitting an audible tone or ring. Ringers are of two types, mechanical and electronic. Transmitter. The transmitter is essentially a tiny microphone located in the mouthpiece of the telephone's handset. It covers the vibration of the speaker's voice into vibration in the direct current flowing through the set from the power source. Receiver. The receiver is located in the earpiece of the telephone's handset, operating on electromagnetic principles that were known in Bell's day. It converts fluctuating electric current into sound waves that reproduce human speech. Anti-cytone circuit. The anti-cytone circuit is an assemblage of transformers, resistors, and capacitors that perform a number of functions. The primary function is to reduce cytone, which is the distracting sound of the speaker's own voice coming to the receiver from the transmitter. The anti-cytone circuit accomplishes this reduction by interposing a transformer between the transmitter circuit and the receiver circuit, and by splitting the transmitter signal along two paths. So that's it. Thank you, and God bless.
Ladrona, and I am here to present or to discuss our topic about the modern ages, and my assigned topic, ma'am, is television. So we all know, ma'am, that television is belong to the modern ages invention, and now I will discuss what is television. Television is one of the most important inventions in the recent century. It is a powerful tool to educate viewers across the world. Television is considered as the main source of information for people because it enables to receive the latest news from all over the world. Since television includes a lot of interesting and amazing programs, it can be regarded as an appropriate source of entertainment. Moreover, the educational channels of television can be informative for everyone, especially for children. For example, children can increase their skills by watching scientific programs. That is why the majority of parents allow television to the children's bedroom. Yusuf and Sahimi, 2009. However, television, like the majority inventions, may also have some disadvantages. Excessive watching TV can bring some physical problems such as obesity. It can also have social consequences for people. In some cases, violence in program television may cause aggressive behaviors in adolescents. Sometimes, television is derivative applied to misinformed people. For instance, some government make use of television is an advertising tool. In addition, family members may concentrate on television programs to the extent they stop communicating with each other. Since the children are more sensitive in comparison with adults, the disastrous consequences can be too intense for them. It makes people lose important social skills. It may also lead to their poor academic performance. Hence, some psychologists believe that television is one of the worst inventions of modern times. Their paper aims to provide some information about the disadvantages of television, as well as its negative impacts on children based on some published papers in the middle of paper. Consequently, parents should control the channels that their children like to watch. Although television is one of the most useful tools for entertaining children, the inappropriate and excessive use of television may bring some disastrous consequences for them. Based on the recent studies, there is a positive association between watching television and prevalence of physical and social problems. So, problems associated with incorrect use of television includes obesity, eating disorders, adverse effect on children's eyesight, increase of binge and aggressive behaviors of children. And that's all, my assigned topic about the television of the modern ages. Once again, my name is Mark Ladrona. Thank you for listening and watching, and may God bless you.
Good day, Mom. My name is Ivy Pena. My topic is all about camera. I will personally call cameras as a time machine. It has helped people capture any moments in history and present. The invention of camera is also controversy, as it is assumed that Alexander Wolcott invented the first camera in 1840, while photograph pictures were seen around 1826, made by Joseph Niepce. However, before camera was made, all events were like he say, she say. The improvements in camera technology has helped bring motion pictures, which is growing larger every year. Today, we enjoy our collection of image and get time to interact with our own past. Imagine your best night you spent, or the moments our childhood shared in pictures. This is one of the most amazing inventions in this modernized world. Today, every smartphone has less one built-in camera that can also take video. Freeze the great moments from your life in the photograph with better quality and superior handling digital camera. One doesn't have to look much further than a photo after to see that camera are one of the great inventions that changed the world. That's all. Thank you and God bless.
Modern ages invention. Light bulb. The invention of the light bulb transformed our world by removing our dependence on natural light, allowing us to be productive at any time, day or night. Several inventors were instrumental in developing this revolutionary technology throughout the 18th. According to Thomas Edison, is created as a primary inventor because he created a completely functional lighting system, including a generator and wiring as well as carbon filament bulb like the one above in 1879. As well as initiating the introduction of electricity in homes throughout the Western world, this invention also had a rather unexpected consequence of changing people's sleep patterns. Instead of going to bed at nightfall, having nothing else to do, and sleeping in segments throughout the night separated by periods of wakefulness. We now stay up except for the 7 to 8 hours allotted for sleep, and ideally we sleep in one go. Thank you and God bless.
Good day, everyone. I am Bernadette Ayla Chavez, first year Best Etchen. In modern age, one of the invention is radio. Every year brings new inventions. Some permanently change our lives almost overnight. Some takes time to become part of the future, and some disappear as soon as they are patented because there was never a real need for them. The radio, occasionally underappreciated. The radio was one of the first major inventions of the 20th century, invented in conjunction with many different scientists, including Nikola Tesla and Guglielmo Marconi. The radio became the most used forms of communication in the world. Over the last century, there have been thousands of patented ideas around the world, and while we may not notice some of them, many are exciting and completely life-changing. The radio in the early 20th century served as a social bonding tool, a place of news and educational tool, and for emergency broadcast, in short, providing an entirely new way for people to communicate and interact.